Usually, whenever someone spreads a false rumor to an extrovert about something an introvert for the person said but didn't really say, the extrovert never goes to the introvert to get a more clear confirmation. They always believe the other person 100%. And it's like, I don't understand. Because if you're an extrovert, you pretty much talk 90% of the time and are expressive 90% of the time. And yet, when someone tells you something that someone said, and they might not have said it, you don't even talk to the person about it. It's like now all of a sudden you forgot how to communicate. That doesn't make sense to me, but that's what people do. I mean, what is the likelihood of an introverted person talking trash about an extrovert? It's not that common. So in this case, why not go to the introvert and talk to him or her about it instead of just believing the rumor right off the bat. And I see another thing I don't understand is when I see how extroverts, how they just stare at certain types of people in public. It's like they'll stare at you, obviously because they don't like you, if it's a certain type of stare, like a blank stare or an angry stare. I've gotten both of those. There was anyway, I can talk about that later. But and it's like I'd rather you just, me personally, I'd rather they just come to me and express their issues, like even if it's just to say, oh, I don't like you, and that's why I was staring at you for the past 10 minutes. And it's like, okay. But it's like, no, they just sit there and stare at you. Like an introvert, even though they're an extrovert. And introverts normally don't stare at people for that long. So that's why I say, these aren't introverts staring. Introvert is not going to stare at a person with a disgusted look or an angry look, or maybe a blank look, but it's not as often, because introverts are kind of to themselves. usually. But yeah, I don't understand it. You know what I mean? I mean, you got 90% of the time they talk, and then when you actually want to hear something from them, or when there's actually something that needs to be clarified, they don't say anything. Anyway, that's all I had to say for this.